Have you ever wondered what truly makes for a happy old age? Is it health, wealth, or perhaps the people around you? While everyone may have different values, there are certain universal truths that many agree on. In today's video, I'll be sharing the 5 key things to reduce after turning 60. Things that, when let go of, can help you lead a more fulfilling, peaceful life as you age. From the most common mistakes people make to the unexpected changes that bring joy, this video will guide you in creating a happy, healthy old age. So, if you're looking for practical tips on how to embrace your later years with a positive outlook and less stress, make sure to watch until the end. You won't want to miss the most essential advice for a joyful life in your golden years. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video, you can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 5th place, reduce unnecessary relationships. A true friend is someone who connects with you on a deeper level, someone whose mental and emotional energy aligns with yours. Just having one real, meaningful friend can be more valuable than having a circle of acquaintances. This perspective is echoed by the lonely philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer, who, despite spending his entire life alone, believed that authentic friendships were rare and that fewer, deeper relationships were preferable to many superficial ones. You may find yourself relating to this idea, especially if you've ever envied the people who seem to be the center of attention at social gatherings, whether it's a lively dinner party or a solemn memorial service. It can seem at times that a person's worth is defined by the number of people surrounding them. I too once held this belief, convinced that the more people I knew, the more successful I would be. I became deeply involved in various social circles, taking on roles such as treasurer or president of alumni groups, attending weekend events, and maintaining a busy schedule. It was a time when personal interactions were more physical and more face-to-face, unlike the digital ease of today. I thought that the more time I spent with others, the stronger my friendships would be, and thus, my success would grow. During this period of what I believed to be social success, I cultivated a wide circle of friends. But life, as it often does, threw a curveball. A business failure hit me hard, and I found myself in desperate need of help. I turned to those same friends I'd once been so close to, but the response was not always what I had hoped for. During these tough times, I learned a harsh truth. The true nature of people often reveals itself when things get difficult. Some friends stepped up, while others disappeared. This was a wake-up call for me, a realization that many of those people I'd considered close friends were nothing more than acquaintances. Their presence was superficial, built on mutual benefit rather than genuine connection. This led me to reevaluate my relationships. I went through my contact list and started deleting those connections that no longer added value to my life. It was a liberating process. With each deleted contact, I felt lighter, more focused, and at peace. How many people are listed in your phone book or social media contacts that you haven't spoken to in years? Maybe you keep them there out of habit, or perhaps in case you need something in the future. But, as we get older, it's time to take a more selective approach to our relationships. Rather than investing energy into maintaining a wide network of acquaintances, why not focus on those who truly matter? True friends are those who will stand by you through thick and thin, not just those who show up when it's convenient. These are the people who contribute positively to your life, offering mutual support and understanding. Instead of feeling pressured to attend every social event or gathering, consider spending that time nurturing the relationships that bring you real joy and fulfillment. In the later stages of life, it's not about the number of friends or social connections you have, it's about the quality of the friendships that truly matter. Reducing unnecessary relationships, focusing on those that are meaningful, and investing your time in them will ultimately lead to a more peaceful, fulfilling, and joyful old age. 4th place, reduce greed. Recently, I had the chance to reconnect with an old friend I hadn't seen in years. We spent hours reminiscing, catching up on our lives, and sharing our journeys. During our conversation, she mentioned something that caught my attention. Her husband, who had already retired, was still working. He had always been a hard worker and couldn't let go of the desire to keep growing his wealth. This drive to maintain financial independence was admirable at first, but it eventually led to an unfortunate incident. Her husband, eager to invest and increase his savings, fell victim to a sophisticated scam. He was convinced by someone who promised high returns through a securities investment. Trusting the advice, he transferred a large sum of money into the fraudulent company, believing it was a legitimate opportunity. Only a few days later, the truth came out. The company was a scam, and the money was gone. My friend was devastated, not just because of the financial loss, but because her husband had decided out of sheer greed, ignoring the warning signs. What struck me the most was that she had transferred money to help him, out of her trust and belief in his judgment, only to find out that everything had been a lie. This experience reminded me of a critical lesson. After retirement, it's more important to focus on preserving what you've worked hard for rather than chasing after more. Retirement should be a time of peace, relaxation, and enjoying the fruits of your labor, not one of continuing to gamble with your security in the pursuit of extra wealth. In our younger years, the allure of increasing our wealth or gaining more can feel powerful. But as we age, the consequences of unchecked ambition become far more significant. The risks of seeking quick, tempting rewards can be too great, and the road to recovery from such mistakes may prove to be insurmountable. As the saying goes, it's easy to climb a mountain, but hard to descend. It's natural to want more, to keep pushing for greater heights. But what we often forget is that greed can be like an insatiable fire, always demanding more fuel, and when it burns out of control, it can destroy everything in its path. It's so tempting to accumulate more, to never feel like we have enough. However, as you get older, you begin to realize that letting go of that desire is one of the most important steps you can take. The climb may have been exhilarating, but the fall is much harder to bear. Learning to reduce the grip of greed, especially as we age, can protect us from future regrets and allow us to live with greater peace of mind. Ultimately, the goal in life isn't to continue striving for more material wealth, but to be content with what we have, appreciate the present, and make wise, careful decisions that safeguard our well-being. It's about focusing on what matters: health, family, and the joy of living a fulfilling, peaceful life, free from the destructive influence of unchecked ambition. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Third place, reduce carbohydrates. As people age, their appetite often decreases, and older individuals tend to consume less food overall. Many older adults in countries like Korea often rely heavily on carbohydrates as a significant portion of their daily caloric intake, but this can come at the expense of other crucial nutrients, particularly protein. Studies have shown that many seniors experience insufficient protein intake, which can lead to muscle loss, weakness, and a general decline in health. Furthermore, older adults are often deficient in essential vitamins and minerals that play a vital role in maintaining good health. To promote longevity and well-being, it is crucial to embrace a more balanced diet that includes all 5 food groups: grains, protein, vegetables, fruits, and dairy. To support healthy aging and maintain vitality, I want to share 3 essential eating habits that can make a significant difference. First and foremost, eating smaller meals more frequently throughout the day can be incredibly beneficial. While it may seem counterintuitive, eating less food in larger portions may not be as effective as eating smaller portions more often. This strategy allows the body to digest food more easily and absorb nutrients efficiently. Many elderly people prefer lighter meals, especially in the evening when their digestion tends to slow down. Therefore, rather than sticking to the traditional 3 large meals per day, try breaking meals into smaller, more frequent servings that focus on nutrient density. It's important to remember, however, that even with fewer meals, each meal should be carefully planned to ensure the intake of essential nutrients, including protein, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals. The second essential habit is making sure to get adequate protein. As we age, our body's ability to synthesize protein decreases, which can result in muscle loss and frailty. Insufficient protein intake is a significant concern for older adults, as it contributes to decreased mobility, poor bone health, and a weakened immune system. Additionally, the lack of sufficient protein intake has been linked to increased risks of chronic conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, and even certain types of cancer. Therefore, seniors must prioritize high-quality protein sources in their diets. Foods such as lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy, legumes, and nuts should be incorporated regularly into meals. Even if appetite decreases, ensuring that protein intake remains adequate can help maintain muscle mass, strength, and overall functionality. Finally, it's important to reduce the over-reliance on medications and supplements as we age. While medications can play an important role in managing health conditions, many seniors tend to rely on them for managing common aches and pains or supplementing perceived deficiencies. It's essential to approach this tendency with caution. Overuse of certain supplements or medications can lead to adverse effects, and they should only be taken with proper medical guidance. Instead of turning to medication for every ailment, seniors should focus on maintaining a healthy lifestyle through nutrition, exercise, and regular doctor visits. Proper diet and lifestyle choices are the foundation for reducing the need for long-term reliance on medications, helping seniors maintain independence and vitality. Second place, reduce talking. As we age, there is a natural tendency for us to talk more, to reflect on our past, and to share stories from our lives. We recount the triumphs, the struggles, the milestones we've reached, and the lessons we've learned along the way. These stories carry great meaning, as they are a reflection of the journey we've walked and the experiences that have shaped us. But as we enter the later stages of life, it's essential to recognize that in many situations, less talking can be far more valuable than speaking at length. One of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves and others in our senior years is the ability to listen deeply, to understand fully, and to share our wisdom selectively. There is an old saying that as you grow older, you should close your mouth and open your ears. While this may seem like a simple piece of advice, it carries profound significance. In this phase of life, where the days and years have gifted us with wisdom and insight, the most meaningful way to contribute to conversations or situations often comes not from speaking, but from listening. Listening allows us to observe the world around us with a clearer perspective, one shaped by the depth of our years. As we listen more, we develop the ability to notice things that we might have missed when we were younger. We begin to understand the subtle nuances in conversations, the tone of someone's voice, the gestures they make, or the quiet hesitations between words. It's in these small details that true understanding often resides. As we age, we also come to realize that speaking out of instinct can sometimes do more harm than good. There are moments in life when we feel the urge to share advice, correct someone, or offer our perspective on a situation. But with age comes the wisdom to recognize that there are times when silence speaks louder than words. The best advice is often the one that is given when it is truly needed and when it will be most welcomed. This means that in certain situations, it is sometimes better to hold back, refrain from giving advice prematurely, or resist the urge to provide a solution. By doing so, we create space for others to think, to reflect, and to come to their conclusions. It's not about withholding knowledge or wisdom. It's about knowing when the time is right for it to be shared. There are times when pretending not to know something can be a valuable tool. This might sound paradoxical, but it is often a strategy that invites others to engage more openly. When we feign ignorance in a situation, we create a sense of equality and encourage others to express their thoughts more freely. This approach is particularly useful when engaging with younger generations, who may not always be open to advice or guidance from their elders. Sometimes, they need to discover things for themselves, make mistakes, and learn their lessons before they can truly appreciate the wisdom that we might offer. By stepping back and not immediately intervening, we allow them the space to grow on their terms. It is in this way that we can help guide them, not through direct intervention, but by providing them with the room to navigate their paths. I recently read an article where a young writer criticized older generations for not intervening when teenagers misbehave or engage in potentially harmful actions. The author argued that older individuals have a responsibility to step in and correct the behavior of younger people. While I understand this perspective, I believe that, as elders, we can have a more significant impact by choosing not to intervene in every situation. Often, when young people make mistakes or act out, they are not yet ready to accept advice or correction. Direct intervention can sometimes push them further away or create resentment. By remaining silent or observing from a distance, we allow them to make their own choices, learn from their own mistakes, and, in time, reach a point where they are ready to hear the wisdom we have to offer. In this sense, withholding our advice can be a more powerful form of support than giving it immediately. This approach requires a great deal of patience and self-restraint. It means trusting that the younger generation will find their way, even if it takes time, and that they will come to us when they are ready to listen. It also means acknowledging that sometimes the most profound influence we can have on someone is through our example rather than through our words. By listening more and speaking less, we demonstrate the value of thoughtfulness, patience, and restraint. We show that wisdom does not always need to be vocalized, but can be present in our actions, in our understanding, and in our ability to listen deeply to those around us. Ultimately, the ability to speak less and listen more is not a sign of weakness or passivity. It is a mark of maturity and emotional intelligence. The older we get, the more we realize that life is not always about providing answers, but about asking the right questions and creating space for others to find their answers. Listening with an open heart and mind allows us to stay connected to others, even when we may not always agree with them or understand their perspectives fully. It helps us build stronger, more meaningful relationships, foster understanding, and create a sense of community where everyone feels heard and valued. As we age, our role in the lives of those around us evolves. While we may have once been the ones seeking guidance and advice, we now have the opportunity to serve as compassionate listeners, offering our wisdom only when it will make the greatest impact. By mastering the art of listening and knowing when to speak, we can contribute to the growth and development of others in the most meaningful way possible. It is through this quiet, deliberate presence that we can continue to make a difference, not just in our own lives, but in the lives of those who will follow. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. First place, reduce stubbornness. One of the most vital and often overlooked aspects of having fulfilling, enriching conversations as we grow older is the ability to remain flexible. Flexibility is more than just a physical trait. It's a mental and emotional one that plays a significant role in the quality of our interactions with others. As we age, our perspectives, beliefs, and habits can solidify. Over time, we may find ourselves adhering more strongly to certain viewpoints, sometimes because we've held them for so long or because we're simply more comfortable with the way things have always been. While this can offer a sense of stability, it can also become a double-edged sword. One of the primary reasons why conversations become more challenging with age is that we become more set in our ways, and this rigidity can create unnecessary barriers. As human beings, we naturally gravitate toward comfort and familiarity. But when we become too stubborn, we risk disconnecting from others, even those we care about deeply. Conversations may become less fluid, less engaging, and even more tense because we find it difficult to bend or open up to new ideas. We may be less inclined to embrace different perspectives or accept change, and this can lead to miscommunications, frustration, or even feelings of isolation. The very act of holding tightly to old ways of thinking can stifle the natural exchange of ideas that keeps relationships alive and dynamic. To overcome this, we must consciously choose to let go of stubbornness and approach our conversations with a mindset of flexibility and openness. Flexibility doesn't mean that we have to abandon our core values or beliefs. Rather, it's about being willing to listen, understand, and evolve. It's about accepting that the world is constantly changing, and so are the people around us. We all evolve with time, our needs, opinions, and even communication styles, and it's important to meet that evolution with grace and adaptability. Letting go of stubbornness means making room for new information, adjusting our thoughts when necessary, and remaining open to learning from the people around us. This shift in thinking requires a conscious effort, but it can lead to incredibly rewarding outcomes. By reducing stubbornness and embracing flexibility, we not only enhance the quality of our conversations, but also create deeper, more authentic connections with those around us. We become more empathetic listeners, more engaged speakers, and more thoughtful participants in our relationships. As we age, our ability to adapt allows us to stay relevant, present, and connected, not only to our loved ones but also to the world itself. Embracing a more flexible mindset also means recognizing that we don't have all the answers and that life's constant changes can teach us valuable lessons, no matter our age. We should never stop learning or growing, especially when it comes to how we engage with others. In the process, we not only open ourselves up to new ideas, but also help cultivate an environment where others feel comfortable doing the same. This exchange of ideas, however small or large, enriches our relationships, strengthens our bonds, and makes life's conversations feel fresh and meaningful, no matter how many years have passed. Letting go of stubbornness doesn't mean becoming passive or losing our individuality. It's about adapting with purpose, approaching conversations with curiosity, and recognizing that flexibility is a strength, not a weakness. Ultimately, it's about finding balance, honoring the wisdom that comes with age while remaining open to the beauty and growth that can emerge when we allow ourselves to evolve alongside the changing world. As we wrap up today's video, I'd love to hear from you. What have you learned so far? Which of these 5 things to reduce will you bring into practice in your own life to help create a happier, healthier old age? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave your comment, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on all our future content designed to help you live your best life at any age. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.